Hey, this is the other Mr. Nephew coming at you with a quick lesson on right hand technique for the bass guitarist. All right, stick around. So we're gonna talk about 3 key things when it comes to just establishing a good foundation for your right hand. So number 1 is gonna be finger positioning. Number 2 is gonna be wrist positioning. And number 3 is gonna be your thumb, position of your thumb. So let's dive in, okay? So number 1 is gonna be the finger positioning, okay? To establish just a good foundation for right hand technique. So just relax your hand, okay? Bring it up, kind of looks like that. I'm not actively making a fist or actively putting out my hand like that for a high five or anything. I'm just completely relaxed. And you can see I'm kind of bent just a little bit. You want to just take that and carry that right on down to the bass guitar strings. And that should be kind of your resting position right there. And then you try to keep those fingers bent in that same position, what we call the rock climber's position there. And you're just climbing those strings. And we don't really want to keep our fingers super straight and extended and then start slapping the strings. It can actually sound a little sloppy at times, to be honest, but also it just requires a lot more work. It can fatigue you out a little bit and can actually even cause more damage later on down the road. So number 2 is going to be wrist positioning. Once again, this is a kind of a protective mechanism. A lot of people tend to, even myself included at times, they tend to really bend that wrist and they play like this the whole time. They may even do both. They'll keep their fingers straight and I can really feel that in my wrist. And they'll play like that. Really not good for you. If you're looking to cramp yourself up, that's a way to do it. You want to try to maintain as much as possible a neutral positioning. Doesn't have to be perfect. You know, I'll still have a little bit of a bend here and there depending on maybe when I'm playing, but for the most part, you really want to achieve, you know, that consistency with neutral positioning for that wrist. Number 3 is the thumb positioning, which is your anchor. So you want to have a nice spot to kind of rest. With me, I actually rest for the most part on my low B string here because I do have a 6-string bass. You know, that's what I use specifically. This is when it comes to being a little bit more subjective. You know, it's really going to be what is most comfortable for you, what kind of makes you feel most relaxed. But it's a good way to just find a spot that you're going to anchor yourself in. But you want to, like I said before, be relaxed. So you want to be able to move that thumb maybe down a couple strings. So if you're going to be playing a little bit in a higher register, you shouldn't just stay all the way here and then trying to reach down to these higher strings and then bending that wrist. It's good to just change that anchor point of your thumb. So you could be here. Slowly went from my low string here to the next string down and just made a little transition with that anchor. So it still helps out with my positioning for number 2 with that wrist. And the last place you can place your anchor too is on one of your pickups, depending on really how the layout is and once again that comfort level. But you can even just use that upper anchor right there on a pickup, this back pickup here, more towards the bridge, or that neck pickup, whatever you may have for your specific bass. So just another thing to think about. Well, I hope these 3 tips definitely help you build a really good foundation to start your playing off in the right direction. Best of luck.